Mark your calendars and circle the date because we are getting closer and closer to the joys of Penn State men's basketball. Welcome back to Penn State Sports Night. I'm Brendan Conroy alongside my friend and trusty colleague Cheranda Hammond. And today we're going to be talking about some Penn State men's basketball with the first game of the regular season tipping off next Monday here at University Park in the Bryce Jordan Center. We are approaching time for players to give their team their everything and leave it all on the floor. So, Cheranda, as you know, we're going to be starting off next Monday, November 7th, here at Penn State with Penn State taking on Winthrop. Who do you think, or rather, what do we think we need to see from Penn State, the whole team, throughout the whole season if we want to have a successful time within the Big Ten as well as outside of the Big Ten?
I think I might be kind of corny when I say this, but I expect Penn State men's basketball to be gritty, not pretty. Coach Micah Shrewsbury preaches that a lot, and it kind of become a trademark for the team. I'm looking forward to see how the team comes together without their glue guy, John Harrar, graduated super senior. With the highest ranked recruiting class in Penn State history, I think this will be really exciting. Keba Jai was the highest ranked recruit in ESPN's Top 100. He was ranked 100th, but he is the second highest for Penn State men's basketball, right behind Tony Carr in 2016. You have 6'10" forward Demetrius Lilly, so I think he will definitely be filling in that spot where the height is concerned because I say a little worried without John, like I said, but I'm really looking forward to that and seeing all the freshmen play.
Well, what's funny is you mentioned a lot of the players and saying players have their own role, and that's going to be really important on the season. Now, I want to ask you, because you've seen a lot of these games, and I know you're going to go to a lot of the games, so I feel like you are the person to ask, which players, not just necessarily seniors or incoming freshmen, but which players should we be looking for to do their best work and that need to kind of step up to help this Penn State offense kind of be more powerful of a brute force this season?
Yeah, I definitely got to go with fifth-year senior Miles Dredd. He is a great player, very tough, and really good on the court. I just got to say he's really good at shooting threes, but him and Seth Lundy both can be very inconsistent. We're going to still have Jalen Pickett, the king of buzzer beaters, I like to call him, because you put the ball in his hands with a little time left, right, and he's going to make that shot. And then Dalian Johnson, I think he's really going to show out this year, but that's going to be big. And then, like I said, Seth Lundy also needs to work on his consistency with shooting threes, but also he needs to continue his stride because his defense was a big part of the great season and running the Big Ten tournament last year.
Right, because those older guys, as we know, if they're inconsistent, it's not great for that Penn State team because, as we saw last year, they were leading the team. Sure, they were going through some COVID stuff the year before, so they got an extra year of eligibility, and they were able to help us out for a little bit longer, which is great. With these incoming freshmen, they have to be some sort of leader to them, right? They have to kind of teach them and bring them in a way that they can perform in the next coming years while they're gone and even we're gone. So that's what we're going to need to see. These freshmen, like you mentioned, are a very highly recruited class. They have the talent. They have the skill that Micah Shrewsbury saw in them during recruiting. So it's just going to be whether or not the freshmen, if they take the lessons from the seniors or not, if they can perform and show up when we come to the Bryce Jordan Center this season. So now my last question for you, whether it's here, whether it's somewhere else, what game do we need to be looking at as kind of a determinator of how our season will go, or what two games, however many you want to tell me, are the most important for this season as Penn State will suit up?
I got to go with two really big non-conference games. Penn State plays Butler non-conference at home, so I think that's going to be really good. Butler is a tough team to play, and I think the Penn State will do really well against them. It'll be a good tell for how the freshmen will do. And then on the road against Clemson, Penn State's traveling to South Carolina. I think that'll be a good test for them for an away team and how well they play on the road.
Yeah, one game that I think I am looking forward to the most is going to be Michigan. We saw Penn State just fell to them in football. They're equally as good in basketball, and they have a great competition every single time, these two match up. So once Penn State plays Michigan, and even some of those other Big Ten conference teams that they match up against, I think that's going to be a big factor into their record and determine how their success will play out in the regular season and even looking ahead. With a close-knit and competitive Big Ten, it is going to be a very important season for Coach Micah Shrewsbury and his Nittany Lions as they look to prove they have what it takes to compete and keep up with the other strong teams in the conference. That's all for this edition of Penn State Sports Night. Be sure to stay tuned for more Penn State men's basketball updates throughout the season. For my colleague Cheranda Hammond, I'm Brendan Conroy. Thank you all, and have a great night.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night. We hope you liked that segment.
And we're sure there's other Penn State Sports Night segments that you are going to love as well. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content.
And check us out on social media for updates and behind-the-scenes clips and pics. Follow us on Twitter at PSSN TV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with all the action.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.